Hello guys, I'm Laku and welcome to this Kingdom Come Deliverance II modding tutorial. Today I will show you how I created the mod 5 days at teens using Skald from the modding tools. So what this mod does, this mod changes the prices of the innkeepers and how much time you stay when you choose to stay for a longer time, which now it's an infinite time until the end of the game, which to me seemed as a bit strange. You have to pay like 10 times one night to stay all your life in one place. So let's see how I did that. First thing, I took some screenshot from the game, from Innkeeper Yarka in particular. So we can see when you start a dialogue with her, you can choose to buy room and board, and then you can choose for one night or for a longer time, which is an infinite time. When you choose one night, you have also the option to rent a room for the long term, which is again for an infinite time. So let's take some notes here. These are all the strings that we have seen from the dialogue. So where can we start to search for these strings? For example, if you go in the game folder, in the localization and English XML, you can see a lot of files which are all the strings used in the game, and I'm pretty sure in this case the string is in the dialogue UI because it's dialogue, of course. So if we open this file and go, for example, to search this string here, find, we can find this string here, which is UI Zena VO sequence 45. Okay, so we copy this string and put here in our notes. Then what we do, we go in Skald and create a new project. How do we create this? We can do cancel here and choose pack, and then select the folder where the modding tools are installed. Okay, now we create a new mod, for example called let's say 5 days at teens tutorial. This is mod or a modded ID. So for example, in the name we can put some spaces to make it more readable. Author, description. So we click on new and select here our mod and click mod base game. Then we have to wait for all the loading, which is really long. So I think I'll cut here. Okay, after about 2 minutes of loading, we are presented with the design screen. So let's go on our notes and copy this string we took before and search for this string here. Okay, we have found one sequence, which if we go to examine, it's like the dialogue of the innkeeper with Henry. It's all in Czech, so you have to know, for example, knock is knight, I think. Okay, from here we can see nothing about the prices, so I don't think this dialogue establishes in some way what price we are going to pay. But if we look at this path here, we can see that this dialogue is part of another node, which is room rent. just what we was searching for. So if we click on room rent, here we can see all the logic about the room renting. And here I think it's what we were searching, because here are the prices for the one night at the infinite option. If we see where this goes on moods vyostinci pronajem. Moods of course is male, and Zena is female. Pronajem is rent, I think. So this is the dialogue we were looking before. And it's different, it's a little different from male and female, so you have two options of dialogue. But what is important that each dialogue exit from with some variable which is doconce re, which is the infinite option, and najet nunok, which is for one night. Those options goes here, so you can set one night or infinite. What we have here, when you set one night or infinite, there are some triggers that go out. One night has 3 triggers, so let's see where these triggers goes. The first one goes to open door, of course, because if you are in an inn, the door should be opened. The second trigger goes to check-in, room check-in, of course. And the third one goes to these other nodes, which we don't know what they do for now. But if you see on the infinite trigger, we have only two edges. One goes to open door and the other one goes to check-in. And that's it. So probably this third edges from the one night trigger is what we want to modify. Let's see what it does. It goes to a compare time of day with which is greater than 8 hours. And if it's true or false, it does different things. If it's true, goes directly on this timer. So let's say we enter the inn at 10 o'clock in the morning. This starts the timer, and from this default value which is 0, and when the timer goes to -1, the timer stops and goes to this other if condition. This condition is, let's see where it started, the one night. Okay, so together with the trigger we also have these boolean values which we can use to do our logics, both for one night and infinite. So if the one night was true, this node here exit with the true option and set none, which goes here to checkout, plus also goes here which is close door, because when you enter you open the door, when you check out you close the door. Okay, simple. And let's see, in case we enter the inn at 6 o'clock, this is false. So apart from set the running timer, it also increments this value to 0, because if you enter the inn at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, you don't want to sleep only 1 hour, but you are just buying the room for the next night. So this timer, instead of starting from 0, it starts from 1. So you have, let's say, 1 day more. And this is what we are interested in, because if we can change this value here from 0 to, let's say, 4, instead of having only one night, you have 5 nights. Because plus 4, 1 plus 4 is 5. So what we can do here? We can add, for example, an edge to the infinite, which goes on another set of nodes similar to these 5 here. So let's start. Let's see how we can do. So if we do copy and paste, to do paste you have to use Ctrl V, copy and paste. Okay, let's see when I've done this. Okay, I've copy pasted all the nodes which we are interested in. So now let's try to do the same exact connection that we have up here. In case you are missing some output port here, for example, we see we have false here but not here, because when it's not used is hidden, so you just click show hidden ports and the false option appear. Okay, I think I have all the connection repeated from the original scheme. So let's see, now we want to stay 5 days, so default value is 4. This is our mod done. And of course, if we want to change the prices here, we can change them at the start. Here it is. So 12 and 120. Let's say, just to recognize if the mod is working, we can do 13 and 123. So we can see if the mod is working. But as you know, this is only for the in, because the prices 12 and 120 are what is proposed for the ins which have a bed, cauldron and a door to open and close. But also we have other options, like when the innkeeper says we are not equipped for that and you have to sleep on a pile of hay. That is another option which I found out by searching here for room rent, where it was, here for example, room renting one night is exactly what we were searching for. In Nebakov there isn't a real inn, so we have this room rent one night, which if we open we can see it's a entirely different scheme. We have 5 and 50 for the infinite option. And what we do here also is that these values are not connected to the dialog, because you have default values here. I don't know why they did it differently, but if you want, you can just connect this node for the infinite option here and here. See, so it's not more decided into the dialog, but it's decided by the state variable. And you can do the same with the 5 groschen here. So let's say, let's do some space here for the 5 groschen. It's here, and here, for example. So now you can choose the values showed into the dialog from these state variables, which of course they were used to check your money. So if you just changed their value, for example, to 500, you had to have 500 groschen, pay 500 groschen, but the innkeeper would have told you only 50. So it's a little bit of cheating by the innkeeper. Okay, so you have here the same exact logic for the one night and the infinite option, only there isn't a door to open and close because they don't have doors, they don't have rooms, in fact. So you just do the same here from what we did on the room rent, and everything should work the same. But for now, let's go ahead and test all our modifications in the game. So what we can do, we click save. Let's just click save. Now close Skald. Go in your KCD2 mod folder. You see here you have a mod folder and 5 days at teens tutorial and data, quest, final, Barbora, utils, room renting. These are the two files we have modified, which is the only files we are going to need. So let's create this structure, the same folder structure inside our mod. We go into our mod. I have already created a mod manifest here. Let's say we can do copy data here and delete libs, which we don't need. So once we have here the same folder structure, okay, let's check the files are here. We can use KCD pack builder to build our pack. Here it is. So first the pack name, which is our mod ID, which is this one. It's the name of your mod without spaces, basically. Then the output directory, which we want to be the data directory. And the directory to pack, which is the same data directory. When you've done, you click build pack, and it's really fast because it's only only 2 files to pack. Then next you go in your KCD2 game folder, in your mods folder, you then copy this mod folder here, and let's go to remove this folder here we don't need because it's already inside the pack. The pack is just a zip file which you can open and see there are the same files we have packed before. So now we only need to test the mod. Once inside the game, so let's load the game. I think 1 to 49 is just in front of Yarka. So here we are in front of Yarka, the innkeeper. Let's try to talk to her and buy room and board. Let's choose one night. Okay, the price is 13. This is a good sign, the mod is working. So, of course, we can go back and try to buy for a long time. Or maybe you can try also to buy one night and then extend your time. But let's try for this. and it's 123, another sign of the mod that is working. And let's say we'll pay this price. Okay, now it's the difficult part to test if the mod is really working, and after 5 days the bad ownership is removed from you or not. So there is a bit of traffic on the stair. So let's see. The bed in question is this one and this one, and I think this is the door and this is the kettle. In fact, we don't steal if we eat from here. And also you can see on the radar we have two beds. And now I leave this to you. Just try to sleep for 5 nights and see if at the sixth one you can keep sleeping here or your bed is removed. I have already tested this and it's working, but if you want you can try it yourself. So go back to the desktop. Okay, now that we have seen that the mod is working and maybe we want to do other modification inside Skald before going forward, but when you are happy with all your modification, you have to pack the mod into a zip folder. So you go into your KCD2 game folder, mods, 5 days at teens tutorial, and zip this file. You can zip on the .zip, .7zip, .rar, depending on what you want. And this is basically the file you have to put on Nexus. So here it is. I hope you can try some inspiration from this tutorial and do your own mods, which I would want to try, because in the end the important thing is having fun. So I hope you can do beautiful mods, and goodbye.